electricity and power supply to Shondip Upazila through submarine cable. War criminals party Jamaat to be banned after court verdict, Prime Minister tells Parliament. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid asks police force to be mindful to serve people without harassment. Deplorable defeat in election made BNP wear black badge, comments Obaidul Qadir at press conference. Agreement soon to air Bangladesh TV channels in India, says Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Ekushe Padok 2019 announced 21 distinguished personalities to get award for extraordinary contribution in respective fields. And North Korea leader, UN and US President Trump to hold summit in current month. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the news at 10 p.m. This is Asif Rahman with the news in BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Center.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Nuzat Sharmeen. You just heard the headlines, now we'll move on to news in details. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina inaugurated 6 power plants and 9 grid substations with capacity of 1,062 megawatts, reiterating her determination to develop the whole country and illuminate all houses. Her government's aim is to spread light of development everywhere and illuminate every house of the country soon, she said, while opening the power plants and grid substations through video conferencing from Ganabhavan this morning. The 6 power plants are Shirajganj 282 megawatt simple cycle power plant, Bhola 225 megawatt combined cycle power plant, Chatpur 200, Ashuganj 150, Rupsha 105 and Julda 100 megawatt power plant in Chattogram. Through the same function, Sheikh Hasina also launched the power supply to Shondip Upazila in Chattogram through submarine cable, the first of its kind in the country, and 10% electrification in 12 Upazilas. In her speech, the Prime Minister renewed her call to the people to be economical in using electricity, saying that it would be good if they switch off lights with their own hands. The government is producing electricity, spending a huge amount of money, so all will have to keep in mind that electricity is not misused, she said. After finishing the work, Sheikh Hasina said the students, teachers, government officials, whoever they might be, will have to switch off fan, lights with their own hands to save electricity. Referring to her party's election manifesto, the Prime Minister said the motto of her government is to develop the entire country and turn every village into a town. Power and Energy Advisor to the Prime Minister, Dr. Tawfiq-e-Ilahi Chaudhry, and State Minister for Power, Energy and Mineral Resources, Nasrul Hamid Pipu, spoke at the function. Principal Secretary Mohammad Mujibur Rahman moderated the function. Visiting Special Envoy of the UNHCR, Angelina Jolie, has highly appreciated Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina for sheltering huge number of Rohingyas in Bangladesh, saying Sheikh Hasina is the example-setting leader in the world. The UN Special Envoy came up with such remarks when she paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at Ganabhavan this evening. After the call on, Prime Minister's Press Secretary Ihsanul Karim briefed the newsman. The UN envoy said huge number of Rohingyas have created serious burden for Bangladesh and it is very tough task to manage such a big population sheltered in camps. In this regard, she assured that the UN, UNHCR and the World Bank will work together to lessen pressure on Bangladesh. During the meeting, the Prime Minister welcoming the Special Envoy of the UN said Rohingya crisis must be resolved. Sheikh Hasina, however, expressed her disappointment over delay of implementation of the agreement. The Prime Minister said nearly 11 lakh Rohingyas were given shelter in Bangladesh, while some 40,000 new babies were born at the Rohingya camps so far. Radwan Mujib Siddiq Bobby, son of Prime Minister's younger sister Sheikh Rehana and Prime Minister's Principal Secretary Nujibur Rahman were present. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid has asked police to work cordially with utmost devotion so that no service seeker is harassed in any way. The President said this while addressing a gathering on the occasion of Annual Police Week 2019 at Darbar Hall of Bongo Bhavan today. The President said the main duty of the police is to ensure internal security and the safety of public life and property, establish the rule of law and combat terrorism and militancy. President Abdul Hamid lauded the role of Bangladesh police for ensuring the country's law and order as well as in UN peace missions abroad. The President highlighted the government's steps to make Bangladesh police a modern and time-befitting institution. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid called upon the members of Bangladesh police to work honestly and sincerely, imbued with the spirit of liberation war and patriotism to provide the best services to people. Later, President Abdul Hamid exchanged greetings with high officials of police. Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal and Secretary of the Public Security Division Mustafa Kamaluddin and secretaries to the President were present. Earlier, Inspector General of Police Dr. Mohammad Javed Patwari handed over police publications to the President. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid leaves Dhaka for Singapore tonight for his routine medical checkup. The President will leave Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport by a regular flight of Singapore Airlines at 5 minutes to 12. The President is expected to return home on February 13 after medical checkup.
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has said her government cannot proceed with the popular demand of banning Jamaat Islami as the issue is still pending with the decision of court's highest court. The Prime Minister said this in response to a question during the Prime Minister's question-answer session in the Parliament today. Earlier, the House resumed its sitting with the Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry in the chair. The Prime Minister said people of Bangladesh has rejected Jamaat and a strong opinion against the party is now prevailing in the country. Sheikh Hasina said Jamaat didn't get registration of the Election Commission as they failed to qualify the requirements of the Commission. The Leader of the House said discussion is going on to bring back the fugitive accused of 21st August grenade attack case, 10 truck arms ammunition case and other lawsuits relating to subversive activities. Replying to another query, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said the commitment of her party in the election manifesto, Amar Gram Amar Shahar, is aimed at ensuring all urban facilities for rural people to give them a better life. The Prime Minister said her government is striving to ensure basic rights of the people and build every village beautifully. Every village would have the fire and civil defense services, she added. Meanwhile, in the question and answer session, State Minister for Foreign Affairs Shahriar Alam told the House that the government has a plan to open some 22 new missions in different countries. He said currently Bangladesh has a total of 77 missions in 58 foreign countries across the world. Responding to another question, the State Minister told the House that the country does not have missions in 134 countries. In response to a question, Shahriar Alam told the House that foreign investment in the country for the last 5 years was nearly 1,15,944 crore taka. The highest foreign investment came from China with an investment of 30,552 crore taka. In reply to a question, Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan told the House that the government created 81,401 posts during the last 10 years for the Bangladesh police to further strengthen the capacity of the law enforcement agency. Later, 8 parliamentary standing committees were formed. The committees are Parliamentary Standing Committees on Finance, Industries, Commerce, Health and Family Welfare, Food, Agriculture, Foreign and LGBT Ministries. Later, a general discussion was held on Thanksgiving motion on President's speech. Deputy Speaker Mohammad Fazli Rabbi Miah also presided over the session. The sitting of the House will resume in the afternoon tomorrow. Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir has said BNP experienced a devastating defeat in the last general polls, and that is why its leaders are observing Black Badge program. He said this to the reporters at a press briefing at Awami League President's Dhanmondi political office in the capital today. Obaidul Qadir said, like the general election, Upazila Porishad elections will not be halted anyway for anyone. It will be held within due time following the rules and regulations. He also said the election defeat makes the BNP perplexed. Now they are showing attitudes like the lost travelers, he added. Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood has said an agreement will be signed with India soon to air the Bangladeshi television channels in India. He was speaking at a meeting to exchange pleasantries with journalists organized by Mukti Juddher Chetonar Sangbatik Forum at a Jatiyo Press Club in Dhaka today. Chaired by the senior journalist Hassan Shahriar, among others General Secretary of Dhaka Union of Journalists, Sohail Haider Chaudhry, Secretary General of Bangladesh Federal Union of Journalists, Shabun Mahmood, Chief Editor of BBC Television Manjurul Islam, Chief Editor of Ekattu Television Mozammel Haq Babu, Chief Editor of ETV Manjurul Ahsan Bulbul, and Prime Minister's Big Advisor Iqbal Subhan Chaudhry also spoke on the occasion. Information Minister said after signing the agreement, the state-run television BTV will be aired in India first. Different private channels will also get the opportunity in phases, he added. Talking about the advertisement industry, Dr. Hassan said, though there are many smart and talented artists in the country, some advertisements are being made abroad to air here, depriving the local artists. The Information Minister said a law was formulated in 2006 incorporating the provision of taking permission from the authorities concerned for airing foreign advertisements in the country, saying many people are not abiding the law, and the minister warned that steps to be taken to enforce the law against them.
Meanwhile, leaders of Indian Journalists Union paid a courtesy call on Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood at his Secretariat office today. During the meeting, the Information Minister hoped the relation between Bangladesh and India will go further ahead by the sincere efforts of mass media people of the two countries. The government has announced the names of 21 eminent personalities for the Ekushe Padak 2019 for their outstanding contributions to their respective fields. An official release of the Cultural Affairs Ministry today disclosed the names, adding, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will hand over the Ekushe Padak to the awardees at Osmani Memorial Auditorium on February 20th. This year's award winners are late Professor Halima Khatun, posthumous, Advocate Ghulam Arif Tipu and Professor Monwara Islam for language movement, Shubir Nondi, late Azam Khan, posthumous, and Khairul Anam Shakil for music, Lucky Inam, Shubarna Mustafa and Liaquat Ali Lucky for acting, Sayyeda Khanam for arts, Jamaluddin Ahmed for fine arts, Hitindro Chandra Birsha for liberation war, Dr. Bishwajit Ghosh and Dr. Mahbubul Haq for research, Dr. Pranab Kumar Borua for education, and Rizia Rahman, Imdadul Haq Milon, Wasim Shaha, Anwara Syed Haq, Moinul Ahsan Saber and Hori Shankar Jalodash for language and literature. Special Envoy of UN Refugee Agency UNHCR and Hollywood star Angelina Jolie has said she will do all possible within her capacity to realize the rights of displaced Rohingyas. Foreign Minister A.K. Abdul Momen informed this to the reporters as Jolie met him at the Foreign Ministry in the capital today. The megastar expressed her happiness over Bangladesh's role to host and support the huge number of Rohingyas even after having limited resources. The foreign minister said he urged global superstar Angelina Jolie to organize a mega event in Hollywood with fellow showbiz colleagues to create a louder global opinion for the Rohingya people. Dr. Momen said he made the proposal recalling the huge impact of famous singer George Harrison's historic concert for Bangladesh in New York in 1971. Foreign Minister also said Bangladesh-Myanmar border has almost been sealed off to stop further influx from Myanmar amid violence there. Special Envoy of the UN Secretary-General on Myanmar, Christine Schreiner Bergener, also called on Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen at his ministry today. During the call-on, they discussed various aspects to solve the Rohingya crisis. Now, international news. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced in his State of the Union speech that he will hold a second nuclear summit with North Korea's leader this month. In an address to the nation with the theme, Choosing Greatness, he vowed once again to build a border wall. While appealing for political unity, the Republican president also said ridiculous partisan investigations could damage U.S. prosperity. Meanwhile, in a rebuttal, Democrats accused Donald Trump of abandoning U.S. values. The president said in his 82-minute speech on Tuesday night that he would meet Kim Jong-un in Vietnam from 27 to 28 February. If he had not been elected President of the United States, Donald Trump said the USA would right now, in his opinion, be in a major war with North Korea. The U.S. envoy for North Korea is in Pyongyang for talks, paving the way for a second leadership summit. Stephen Biden arrived just as U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed he would meet North Korea's Kim Jong-un in Vietnam on 27 February. The two leaders will build on the vague denuclearization commitments they made when they met in Singapore last June. Meanwhile, the UN has warned that North Korea is continuing its nuclear program and breaking sanctions.
Poland's first Deputy Minister of Energy met Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen at the latter's office today. During the meeting, mentioning the investment-friendly environment of Bangladesh, Dr. Momen invited the Polish investment in Bangladesh in different sectors like energy, leather, footwear, agro-processing, food processing and packaging. The Polish Deputy Minister of Energy told that his government is ready to invest $1 billion in Bangladesh, mainly in mining sectors, including coal mining. Apart from bilateral issues, views on regional and international issues of mutual concern were exchanged during the meeting. UN Women Bangladesh representative Shoko Ishikawa made a courtesy call on Women and Children Affairs Secretary Kamrun Nahar at the Secretariat in the capital today. During the meeting, the Secretary apprised the UN women of their financial and technical assistance to some projects taken by Bangladesh Women and Children Affairs Ministry. Secretary Kamrun Nahar hopes that the mutual cooperation between UN Women and the Ministry of Women and Children Affairs will be further increased in coming days. Ms. Ishikawa informed that Bangladesh government needs to submit reports on current year's commission on the status of women, Beijing Plus 25, and CEDAW and SDG implementation progress. She said UN Women Bangladesh is willing to provide necessary technical support to prepare the aforesaid reports.
Now news on sports. Dhaka Dynamites defeated Rangpur Riders by 5 wickets in the second qualifier match of BPL and reached the final of the tournament today. Chasing the victory target of 143, Dhaka Dynamites scored 147 for 5 with 20 balls remaining. Andre Russell was unbeaten for 40 runs while Ronnie Talukdar scored 35 runs for Dhaka. Earlier, Rangpur batted first and scored 142 for all in 19 overs, 4 balls. Ravi Bopara scored 49 for Rangpur. In the final match of BPL, Dhaka will face Kumilla on the 8th of February. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina inaugurates 6 power stations with capacity of 1062 megawatt electricity and power supply to Shondip Upojela through submarine cable. War criminals party Jamaat to be banned after court verdict, Prime Minister tells Parliament. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid asks police force to be mindful to serve people without harassment. Deplorable defeat in election made PNP wear black badge, comments Obaidul Qadir at press conference. Agreement soon to air Bangladeshi TV channels in India, says Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Ekushe Podok 2019 announced 21 distinguished personalities to get award for extraordinary contribution in respective fields. North Korea leader Yoon and US President Trump to hold summit in current month. And Dhaka Dynamites reach final of BPL cricket, beating Rangpur Riders by 5 wickets in second qualifier.
And that is the end of the bulletin. Our next bulletin will be in Bangla at 11:30 p.m.